Hello everyone, and welcome back for, what's this? Is this episode 3 now, or part 3 of our Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars original release playthrough. So yeah, back in 2020 we started playing through the Broken Sword series, and we played through, 1 and 2 we played the director's cuts version, but now we've returned to play the theatrical cuts. So this is the version which was on the original play. Oh, I just realised I had the thing muted for when the baby came in. Oh, bugger. But this week, last week, we... just pause for that one as well. What was I saying? Right, last week, we completed the section in Ireland, and we came back to Paris, and I believe we were going to meet Andre. And we also, I'm convinced that this week, when we were chatting last night, I'm convinced this week surely is the Mr. Shiny week. What's that there? Won't be on long, need to get the wife and do. Oh, are you going out munching again tonight, Frodo? Remember, we need photos in the food section, just to see what you've been getting. If you're all getting something nice when you're eating out. Oh, thinking about Discord, everybody as well. Don't forget to cast your vote in the community polls for which one is going to be our next puzzle. You've got all the different thingamajiggies there, and there's a line of them down there. and thank you, Royalty. 23 months of craziness. Technically longer. It really isn't it? Because it was 2019ish, wasn't it, when technically the craziness began, when we all met. It's all gone mad. But thank you, Royalty. As I keep on saying, all you guys' support is absolutely amazing. You're all completely nuts. Technically, yeah. Was it? Yeah, Royalty voted for possibly the two obvious ones. I'm quite partial to 2 seconds. I'll just bring it back up again. These two here, I'm struggling to get hold of. I'm leaning towards this one myself. If I was voting in it, the one with the birdies is quite nice as well. Sleepy kitten. The train one. Well, this train one's not a problem. This train one is quite difficult to get hold of, but I'd like to do it at some stage. What's that? This weekend we are doing things around the house. Oh, we've got housework. We've got a decorator coming on Monday, so it's possible that Sunday night stream may be cancelled because I've got to dismantle my desk. So we'll see what happens. Cake and cats are your favourite things. Alright then, let's hop in. Oh, did stream 2, babies? Does anyone know which one I saved where we were up to in last week? This must be the right place. Okay, let's have a little look at our inventory. So we have our soiled hanky. We have... Oh, did anyone see the clips from last week as well? About George keeping all of the junk in his pocket. Cheesecake is... Yeah, Cheesecake is definitely a great name for a cat. You can get Mr. Socks a little friend. Oh, did you see the video I shared on the Discord as well this afternoon about dealing with a naughty cat? Let's go to the police station, because we don't really go to the police station. I mean, in my original playthroughs, I never even came to the police station full stop, because there's not really anything relevant here. God, it's nothing that I ever needed anyway. Oh, screen with the audio's not right.
Excuse me?
Ah, Monsieur Stobbart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is how crime is fought, through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure.
Oh, we might be getting a new kitten royalty. Is that why you're picking out names?
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur. Stobbart is here to see you, monsieur.
Did he say what it was about?
No, monsieur.
Very well.
Let's hope their dialogue levels are okay. If not, I'll jack them up a
Hi,
smidge.
Inspector. Remember me?
But of course, Doctor, my mind is a well-ordered faculty. A mental classification system that's the envy of the Bibliothèque Nationale. No tricks, mark you, monsieur. Just exercise. Just as our muscles waste through inactivity, so our minds decay. But there is no need. If only people would learn to exercise their wits daily.
If he was trying to impress me, it worked. He was pompous and patronizing, but he had style.
Eh bien, if you called about the bombing, you're too late. Investigations have been closed.
But
I've been taken off the case.
what about the murderer, the dead guy?
It is out of my hands.
Don't you want to know what I found out about the killer?
I told you, monsieur, the case is closed. I have washed my hands of the whole affair.
Then I'll have to continue my investigations without your help.
No, you must forget the business of the crown completely. Go back to being an ordinary tourist, Stobbart.
Ever heard of a guy called Marquet? Jacques Marquet?
Marquet? I know the name well. He has a record for suspected blackmail, kidnapping, arson, and art theft.
An all-rounder, huh? How come he's on the loose?
His bravado is matched only by the courtroom skills of his attorney.
Actually, Miss George royalty.
Have you heard of Professor Pegram, the archaeologist?
And the
Molly
grunts.
Pegram, the second son of Lord Barclay Pegram.
Well, I don't know. I only read about him in a magazine.
So much for the efficacy of rehabilitation. What has he done this time?
He made an important archaeological find in Ireland. Do you know Pegram well?
I have connections with the family, but I wouldn't say I knew him at all.
Is his name really Molly?
Of course not. That was the nickname he was given at school. All his friends and acquaintances know him as Molly.
Do you know a pair of thugs called Flap and Guido?
I have known those two since they graduated from special school. Flap is a nasty piece of work, but Guido is the real brains of the partnership. Where did you hear of them?
I met them out front of the Hotel Ubu. Did you find out the ID of the guy who was killed in the explosion?
I already knew who he was.
I heard that the bomb victim's name was Plantar.
Your sources are reliable.
He was a big shot at the Treasury, wasn't he? Maybe that's why you've been taken off the case.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I cannot comment.
What was that psycho-detective business you did in the cafe?
It is my theory that the passions evoked in violent crimes create ripples in the ether, invisible to all but the possessor of a highly developed and receptive mind.
I'm impressed. Can you bend spoons, too?
I didn't think a man of your obvious intelligence would stoop to mockery.
I'm not mocking. I've had personal experience of the power of the mind. I used to get ignored at parties until I read a book that changed my life.
Really? What was it called?
Hypnotism for Fun and Profit. He looked at me as if I'd farted at a funeral.
The power of mesmerism is a rare gift, not a party trick.
You're not going to try any of that psychic interrogation on me, are you?
Do you find the thought of my probing distasteful?
Let's just say I'd rather you didn't. I've got more doubts than doubting Thomas when it comes to mysticism.
Too bad. I think you would make an interesting subject under controlled regression.
The day I let anyone mess with my mind hasn't dawned yet. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No.
It's the face of a killer.
The man who bombed the café?
The photograph was taken soon after the explosion. He'd escaped through the sewers, leaving a trail of clues behind him.
Circumstantial evidence, Stobbart. None of it proves a thing.
Okay, we're not really going to...
So long, Inspector.
not really too much to say in this, at the police station. Now, is it going to return to Moo, or is it going to give us control? Okay, let's head out. So what sort of trouble have you all been causing today? Whilst we head to the museum. I believe we're going to head to the museum next. If I can see it on here. There it is. The Crew Museum. And hopefully we'll meet the useless Andre. Well, royalty, there he is.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No, I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay, shoot.
Yeah, I believe you on that one, Chrissy.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure, it was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
How's that just working and took Junior to the park? Took Junior to park whilst Royalty and I were walking around walking around the reserve shooting bunnies. And told by a 4-year-old not to stroke the cat. No, you've got to talk to the kittens. No problem, Frodo. Well, have a nice trip out, and if you get any nice snacks, don't forget we want to see them. Actually, no, we want to share them. We should say. But have a good night there, mate.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
The second week of July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Pegram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Nothing. Just thinking aloud.
It's quite a deal, yeah. Shooting animals and baking donuts. Oh, I want to play some more food sim. I don't know which kitchen to do next. I need to go down the list. I maybe actually have to hop into them and actually have a look just to see what they look like. I know we looked at like the other kitchen, the Christmas kitchen at the end of last time. Like just have a quick run around it, and we may or may not have thrown a knife through one of the customers. You know, that's what people open us are for. Is Junior feeling any better, Royalty? What had Chrissy done to the poor little Junior?
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Oh no. Well, you know, I'm sure my kitchen would pass with flying colours. All the colours of all the sauces, actually.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Just waiting for the test to come back there, Royalty.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so.
Remember, it's all Chrissy's fault. Apparently added too much salt. No, well, you know, if they didn't want the salt, then you can always substitute it with, you know, sugar or, you know, All-Star or pepper, chocolate.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
Oh, we're getting a go to sleep clip.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Exactly, Royalty. You know, we always find the alternatives. It was just like that bacon. We couldn't find the oil to put in the pan to cook the bacon. So we made the natural substitution, and it was what was it we used actually to do the bacon? Oh, it's that thing that the Canadians love that we used. Oh, just heard that rattle in my head there. Thank you for the bits there, and welcome in there. As I keep saying, you guys, all you guys' support is all greatly appreciated, but welcome in. Oh, what we got here? Oh, which game is I playing? Ooh, we see fire. Wolf would like that. But thank you for the bits there and welcome in. We are on the original release of Broken Sword, and once again, thank you for the bits there. We are on the original release of Broken Sword. We have played through the director's cut of Broken Sword, which we did a couple of years ago, and all the other Broken Sword games, but we've come back to play the original release, which I originally played in the 90s on the PlayStation 1. But if I find the right button on here, you can see all of those over on the YouTubes there. But at the minute we are interrogating Chrissy's favourite, Andre. And as always, whenever there's the dialogue, and I won't talk over the dialogue so we can all hear the story. Although really I should talk over Andre because no one wants to hear what Andre has to say.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, Just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye. Suddenly, this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
So creepy. But yeah, it was back on because point and click night used to be on the Monday night, but we swapped it round because Wednesday was your day off back then, wasn't it? So we swapped it round to the Wednesday night so that you could see a bit more of the story before I put you to sleep. Should say as well, for those of you that are joining us tonight, we stream every night and theme night. Wednesday is point and click adventure night. Tomorrow night is random game night, where we're doing Call of the Wild. Friday is, well, it was until recently, I'm going to start crying, it was Stardew night. But it's now, until we're free to do Stardew again, is RPG night. We have horror game night on Friday, although I don't know what we're actually doing. Oh, technically it is a horror game, I suppose. It classes as that this week. And then Sunday is a relaxing game night, which, we play very nice. It's like farming sim. Then we go straight back in at the deep end on Monday with lots of explosions with first-person shooter night. And Minecraft on a Tuesday. I know, seeing to Chrissy yesterday, Royalty, gonna miss where get my words out. Where Friday night Stardew sessions.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
We need to steal this tripod, don't we? But we really have to concentrate on Ginger Island. Is our like next stage. Got to get that level 10 up there. And we'd also need to investigate what the bonuses were for what did you call it? We needed the bonuses for or what level we needed to manually get down to in the caverns in the desert to get the bonus thing. And then after that we could just use stairs. If we've got the resources to manufacture them. That video I shared a couple of weeks ago, there was like the woman was saying, like, she'll go in with like 200 stairs on it and just fly down all the levels. Let's go back to Nico's place. Evening, bug boy. the one night, yeah. Interactions with a crazy person, though, Royalty.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you back so soon.
Oh, bug boy's put the kettle on for everyone. Are you keeping out of trouble over there, bug boy? Has he been back to pay his respects at the church?
Have you found out any more about the Knights Templar?
Yes, I have. The guy responsible for their downfall was Philippe IV, the King of France, otherwise known as Philippe le Bel. Well, he is known to history as Philippe the Fair, but I doubt if the Templars called him that. I'm sure Andre will tell you all about him.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
Okay, maybe let's go back to Andre. Words that I never really want to say again. Oh, he's so creepy. He is a proper S word that we can't say on Twitch. So we'll go back to the museum. So actually, what's this place? Was that place there before? Ah. forgot about this place we had to go to as well. This is the drunken police officer who sits there drinking wine all day, isn't he?
Excuse me, officer.
And how may I help you?
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Okay, let's. I'm sure there was a clown that we had to. Or maybe that was in the second one?
I had no desire to talk to the crowd.
Okay, let's head in. I can't remember offhand what we have to do here exactly. I'm sure there's someone we have to speak to. Oh, are we getting another? Oh, this is not a clip where we. It's not. This is not the flip it clip. I must have been saying something. I don't know, but I don't know what happened in this clip. I've gone through and done loads of.
The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Loads of clips and highlights. All on the Twitch thing. Some of the highlight videos I will chuck over to YouTube when I've got the energy.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Sure, there's something we had to do in here.
I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
Did we have to put something down in here, maybe?
Somehow, it looked more modern than its neighbor.
On a side note, though, I do enjoy that late game. Yeah, towards the end, the saving issue got absolutely out of hand.
I didn't have time to sit around. A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies. Whoa!
Oh, if I hadn't known he was going to do that, I could have timed that to be. Okay, let's head out of here for now.
I couldn't open it with my bare hands.
Do we still have our tool?
Hey! Hey, you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone. Now.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that.
Where is he keeping this stuff? Okay, so we need to get rid of the cop.
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
Nothing up there that I can
I'll
think
see you
of
around.
using at the
Oui,
moment.
monsieur. I'll be there.
Sorry, can we not talk to his drink, or can we talk to the person with the cafe? Do you remember that guy in the fifth game who had the cafe?
A typically Parisian sidewalk cafe. Last time I visited one of those, it blew up. I decided I was happy enough right where I was.
Especially for all the junk that he keeps in there. You just have to have a look at that clip somewhere down the bottom about the when Nico's complaining about how much junk that he carries in his pockets. Let's see. There's no need to go to the cafe there. I don't know what that marker is. Nothing at the airport. I suppose maybe go back to here. I can't quite remember where we need to proceed. But we'll head back in here and we'll speak with him. Maybe we'll try interacting with this again as well.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
What can you tell me about Philippe le Bel?
He was responsible for the extermination of the Knights Templar.
I know that, but why was Philip so hot to get rid of them?
Mostly because he wanted to get his hands on their treasure. He had an enormous debt and a lifelong war with England to fund. The trouble was, the Templars were a highly respected holy order.
If the Templars were so powerful, how did this Philippe dude wipe them out?
By underhanded, dishonorable means, of course. The Pope was Clement V, a Frenchman.
French, huh? Handy for Philippe.
Fate had nothing to do with it. He was Philippe's puppet, planted to further his political ambitions. Philippe wanted the wealth of the Templars and used Clement to get it.
So what was Philippe's plan? What happened?
Sealed orders were sent out all over France, not to be opened until the appointed day. That day was Friday, July 13th. That's the origin of our superstition regarding that date. At dawn, throughout the whole of France, the Templars were arrested. It was the biggest bust in the history of the world.
What happened to the Templars after their arrest?
Philippe was out for blood, so he handed the Templars over to the Inquisition. Not surprisingly, they confessed to a sensational and sordid list of blasphemies.
Like what?
Oh, the sort of things you read about in the gutter press. Devil worship, lewd sexual practices, spitting on the Holy Cross, that kind of thing.
Well, that must have given their lawyers some headaches.
Whether or not the accusations were true, this was not good publicity. Most of the charges were probably cooked up, but so were the Templars, literally. Hundreds of them were found guilty of heresy and flamed grilled at the stake. They died protesting their innocence.
But surely Philippe had no proof of his charges against the Templars.
A man will admit anything under torture. The Inquisition fabricated some nonsensical demon called Baphomet, and then suggested to their victims that this was what they worshipped.
But they didn't have to agree.
The records show a Templar coming to trial with both feet burnt off. Fragments of flesh and charred bone falling from the stumps. What would you not admit to stop such torment?
So there was no truth at all in the Baphomet accusations?
Not a shred. Almost every victim described the idol differently. No, Baphomet never existed outside the sick minds of the Inquisitors.
So Philippe stole the Templars' riches, huh?
Oh no, they weren't stupid. The king's troops marched first on the temple in Paris, then to the Templar home port at La Rochelle. There was no trace of the treasure, and the fleet of the Knights Templar had set sail.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Okay, has that helped us open up any other options? I want to see. Oh, something went weird there. Or do I have to drag it? That, click on that. Kind of hoping we would make like a comparison between it. Right, we interact with that. I'm going to try and hide in here. We know we have to hide in here to steal this thing at some point, but I know we're not kind of ready to steal it.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill, and the fat falls on the open flames. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled, and it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
And the door open. Let's see if we can get him to...
Pardon me?
Oh dear.
Oui, monsieur?
Forget it.
Why his back's turned. Now hopefully he'll go over to close that now. Yep, he is. Oh, I'm falling off my chair here. We'll just try it. We know we have to do this later.
This is ridiculous. I could be here for hours.
You should have brought a magazine with you, George. Alright, let's head out and see if we can discover anything else. So, we need to get rid of that police officer. How do we think we're going to get rid of him then? Ahead I'm thinking, do we just get him really drunk? Right, that's the cafe where the bomb went off. The church place. There's nowhere international to go just yet. How do I look at the manuscript? See if there's anything on there we can figure out.
Hey, Nico.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you back so soon.
Let's take another look at the manuscript. That's the tripod in the Crew Museum. That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces. The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin, "Through my teachings, you will be enlightened." There's a guy working on a loom. There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod. That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn.
And we can't interact with anything that's already been tripped there as well.
That's the tripod in the Crew Museum.
Okay, jump out of there.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue. A name or an address? That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir.
I might as well keep him with the rest of his junk in
I'll
his
see you again
pockets.
soon.
Okay.
Okay, then who do we speak to next? What have we missed? I don't think there's anything. I don't think you ever have to go back to the cafe. One speed George just slowly walking through the frame. That's all boarded up. Nothing else that we can pick up. Okay, back to the map. Can anyone remember? If you cast your minds back 2 years. Because we have to meet Mr. Shiny. So we're missing at the museum? Yeah, we know the gem's got to go on top of it. It's even on the tapestry thing or whatever it is, the manuscript.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Forget it.
Eh, no. No, monsieur. No.
What's wrong?
You must not enter the exhibit.
I'm sorry. The case contained the tripod shown on the manuscript.
Okay, let's go back and talk to this moron.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
So he's got nothing new down there.
Did I show you this gem?
Yes, you did.
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No,
Take a look at this nose, Labino.
it really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
What do you make of this tool?
Interesting. Where did you get it?
From a dig in Paris.
Vraiment? I didn't realize there were any excavations in progress in the city.
Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No,
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
not now, Georgie.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Okay, so surely it's not the time to fly to there yet. Or do we take that information back to Nico to see if it unlocks anything? Nope, definitely not anywhere unlocked there. Where is she? There she. Pop back in there. No, nothing exciting, royalty. Sending out invoices pretty much is the most exciting excitement I'm gonna have.
Hey, Nico.
Got a call with a client in the morning.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect you back so soon.
Depending on what he wants, and if it's a nice day, it was quite a nice day outside today here. I don't know, might set the camera up in the garden at some point over, well, maybe it's over the next couple of days.
Did I show you this matchbook?
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Labino says that Alamut is where the assassins were based.
Is that so?
Yeah. I wish I knew what the connection was. I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
I might completely lost as to where we need to go now. We need to unlock Mr. Shiny. see the babies.
The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words Club Alamut.
Okay, that type of thing. Go back here, I suppose.
Hello again, officer.
Hello again, monsieur.
He's got nothing in his main dialogue down here.
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
Have you seen this man before?
No, who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh,
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long.
He is quite mad.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician. My TV has been acting up. Could you fix it?
I doubt it. This isn't my ID. Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Does it mean anything to you?
Do you belong to some obscure arm of the Masons?
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern. Beyond that, who knows?
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is? Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no!
Then please put yours away.
Yeah, yeah, Rota, you wouldn't want to use this nose candy.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Police employee of the month. Okay, can anyone remember what we have to do to get through this next bit? I cannot remember at
There was
all
no
here.
water to frolic about in, and the leaf mold that was collecting there just wasn't the same somehow.
I know, obviously we need to use the key on there. I'm sure that we meet somebody inside of the church, though. I'm sure there was somebody to speak to in here. Have we missed clicking on something?
Waiting in prayer for the judgment day.
Try and click on each of these people here.
Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. Just think, there's a dead guy under there. I was surprised Philippe le Bel had left this place alone.
Looks like he's got an old film reel on his, on his
The
chest.
statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
I put the stone in it. No. Let's go over here.
Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Is that right? He definitely slept since we last played this.
I
Just
wonder if
maybe,
this guy
possibly.
died in combat. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout. A huge stained glass window formed a magnificent centerpiece for its neighbors. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it.
There's like an oil slip here.
I didn't have time to see. A row of old pews, beautifully carved and glowing with polish. I thought of all the people who must have sat here over the decades. All those Parisian derrieres, firm buttocks of the young ladies, the flabby flesh of the old men. That wasn't a pleasing image, so I went back to the young ladies. Whoa!
There's that bit of walking simulator I see in the top there as well. Okay, so there's nothing here yet that we can do. They're flopping down the hill.
In French, English, and German it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the Knightly Order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine." There was a small crowd of 5 sightseers. It's a weird thing, but you can take the most intelligent people in the world, put them in their vacation duds, and hey presto, they look like morons. Why is that?
They're Americans. Oh, we'll give this a little bit. At the minute, we're just walking around in circles. About an hour in, really, we haven't made any progress whatsoever. So, we give it one more loop, and then if I can't figure it out, we'll just wrap up. We'll see if any new dialogues opened up with Andre.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie.
Nothing new, and we've already gone through all this stuff with him as well.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
We know what needs to be done, we just don't know what this next trigger point is to, you know, put the next set of dominoes in place, really. Go back to Nico's. scoots the door open.
Hey, Nico.
Oh,
Let's take another look at the manuscript. That's the gem that Pegram found in Loch Marne. That's the tripod in the Croon Museum. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
It's just going to repeat that same dialogue, isn't it?
Look, Nico, a handful of plaster.
yeah, you showed me.
The guy at the novelty shop gave me this.
What is it?
A hand buzzer. You put it in your hand and give people electric shocks.
Why?
It's a gag, a practical joke.
If you ever use it on me, I'll break your arm.
Okay. I get the picture. Did I show you this tissue?
Yes, George. I asked you to get rid of it.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George.
I'll see you again soon.
Okay.
Head on out. I suppose we could go and talk to Moo. Because I'm at absolute complete loss here. I think we'll go talk to Moo and then I'm just going to wrap up for the day. Because I've got absolutely no idea where we're going here. I haven't really made any progress for 40 minutes.
Excuse me.
What do you want now?
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Aha, maybe this is where we get the open up the hospital.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic. In the avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
And what's that there? Nico is the adult everyone thinks they are, but George is what they actually are.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
What are you going to do about Flap and Guido, Sergeant?
I'm going to bust them, monsieur. For years I have been hoping to pin something on that pair. Now's my chance. I'll show them. And the inspector.
Thanks, Sergeant. Thanks for taking me seriously.
I'm only doing my duty, monsieur.
Do you know a man named Khan? He's a shifty-looking guy with a scar on his left cheek.
No, monsieur. Has this man any connection with the bombing of the Café?
Yes. I believe Khan was the name he used when he hired the clown costume. See you later, Sergeant.
How's that opened up the hospital for us? Finally, some progress.
The old building managed to retain some of its original grandeur, but the modern additions look like a baseball cap on a statue of a medieval saint.
They backed up this arm with this that close to the entrance. Oh, can you hear it just in the background, Mr. Shiny?
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit. but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit. Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
See you later.
Right.
My head, I was thinking he was like escaped from the mental institute.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated
I blame
from
Chrissy.
an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not. Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the Bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from a zoo.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Have we got anything?
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh dear. He's on ward J2. That's
The fruity wing.
Nurse Grendel's ward.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
Oh, you mean she's been here a long time?
No, I mean there's not a man in this clinic who hasn't sprawled out on her.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
It's like no medical facilities that we have to turn around down there. But what was that there? You don't like, or you know, like the big sort of like massive costumes, royalty.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Creepy clowns, because remember, they could be having they could have like a concealed bomb. You don't know.
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
Thanks for your help.
Does Chrissy love clowns? have to play some clown games, maybe. Have to do some research. We have put day as well to do.
As I turned the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Shall we talk to him? Now, one thing you'll notice, like with this being the original one, you know, if you remember, there was like whenever we had conversations with anyone, like a portrait of them appears in the corners, and it had the dialogue in the middle. Obviously, with this being the original, it's all, you know, the icons on the top and bottom there. Because was Mr. Shiny one of the ones that you drew, Royalty?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
You know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
It's a deal.
Do you know a nurse called Grendel?
Sure I do.
Is she on duty today?
Yeah, end of the corridor, Ward J2.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the quarters?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years and he's never let me down once.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you?
No, I
don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Whatever you've got with this metal mop foot is probably a fine and noble thing.
It is? Say, it's not every day I meet someone as crazy as me.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
That's what Royalty calls the Hoover, Mr. Sucky.
Oui, monsieur.
Is this Ward J2?
It is, but you're not supposed to be here. We have strict rules about visiting hours.
Can't you make an exception? I've come all the way from California.
You must speak to the doctor.
I can't wait that long. What if he snuffs it?
You can't talk like that here. This is a hospital. You will have to leave.
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
You can tell me how my brother is, can't you?
Of course, monsieur. What is his name?
Jacques Marquet.
Let me see. He's satisfactory.
I was told he was dying.
Oh, well, he is, but the doctor described his condition as satisfactory. That's quite an improvement on yesterday.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Does this mean anything to you?
The Club à la Moute? I've never heard of it.
Do you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly.
Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
Uh-oh. Chrissy's in trouble. when the proper name comes out.
Thank you, nurse.
You may come back at visiting time, monsieur.
Thanks. When is that?
The second Tuesday of each month.
Washing machine, Mr. Wishy-washy. Okay, now we know what we have to do. We need to get in this cupboard, but we also need to get past Mr. Shiny. So a good capacitor on that. I went for a canny while after he unplugged it.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Royalty, slap him anyway. We swipe the coat. And we head back for the ward.
Dr. Stobbart at your service.
A few moments later. This is the wrong door. Ah, right. Clicking in the wrong spot.
Good afternoon, doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Well, who's first?
Monsieur Croquet in bed 2.
What's his problem?
He's been complaining of loss of consciousness. You'll need this, doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
Looking for our next,
Hi, I'm Dr. Stobbart.
Hello, Doctor.
The nurse told me you keep losing consciousness.
That's right. I've had the problem as long as I can remember. It's a real out-of-body experience. Like death, but not so conclusive.
I see. How long does it last?
Just a fraction of a second, and then I recover.
I might not have been a doctor, but I was formulating a diagnosis all the same. This
Blinking?
guy was nuts. I know
Yep,
exactly
I agree.
what you mean. It's known in the medical field as blinking.
Is it serious?
Of course it isn't serious. It's perfectly natural.
But just think, 2 seconds every minute. Why, that's almost half an hour every day. 2 weeks out of every year spent in total darkness.
I don't have time to listen to this baloney. Which bed is Marquet in?
He's round the corner, in solitary.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know, but the men who brought him in were wearing masks and rubber gloves. Hey, you're a doctor. How come you don't know?
We doctors don't know everything.
Then how come you act like you do?
Are you seeing you're blinking now all the time, Royalty?
Has Marquet had any visitors?
Nah, neither have I. That's the worst thing about being in hospital. You feel like the rest of the world has abandoned you.
Well,
You know how it is. Life goes on.
Thanks for those comforting words.
I thought about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy.
Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
Well, goodbye and good luck.
Thanks, Doc.
Okay, so we've encountered the first nutter. Is she going to make us go through all of them?
Doctor,
What is it?
you haven't taken my blood pressure.
I need to book an appointment for that, actually, just thinking of that. She said for the third one, wait over a month.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
Okay, can we get through now this time? Or are we going to have to speak to the other one? Oh no, he's just got he must be asleep.
Oh, doctor.
What now?
You didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
Pull the curtains around on this bloke.
Okay, let's try again.
Oh, we got the Transformers clip. I don't know. I really want to. We could have been all the way through the if we had just gotten past that one little bit in the first one, we would have done so much Assassin's Creed.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners.
Maybe through the day or something like that, I might fire one up. Or maybe I might do like what we did with what do you call that game? South Park. And maybe I'll record that a little bit, and then once we get through it, then I can just like continue with the game.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobbart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
I thought about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy.
Not the time trials.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job.
Well, Grendel was a monster.
You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
3 months? Only one visiting day per month as well.
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. See you later.
He keeps on demanding that we take his blood pressure, and then when we ask him to take it, he said turns me down.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
I'll give you your bloody blood pressure in a minute, mate. That's what I'll do with this bloody machine.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
It's not like that. I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder.
Get the nurse to do it to shut him up, Chrissy. What's that? Reminds me vaguely of your gran.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Do we have the option for that there? How have your grandparents been doing as well, Chrissy?
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
Oh,
do you want this,
Device for measuring blood pressure?
Yeah, do you want it back?
No, thank you.
Thank you, nurse.
Well,
Au revoir, monsieur.
No options to do it. Can we just pull these curtains round? Anything else? What's it say on his chart? Evening tiramisu?
His temperature was normal, with little fluctuation either way.
How do we get past this bloke? Can we just punch him out? So we've got the guy who's scared of blinking. Or the guy at the end who's asleep.
Now, I was no doctor, but this guy looked dead to me.
Let's check his chart.
The poor guy's temperature had been up and down like a white knuckle ride. No wonder he looked so sick. The graph showed a steady decline in his pulse rate and an increase in his blood pressure. It kind of shook me to see this guy's life reduced to a few jagged lines.
Can we use the blood pressure thing on him?
Hello again. Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
What about this guy's French accent? What's wrong with that one? Royalty's just waiting to hear Andre again. Maybe I use the blood pressure thing on the nurse?
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you want this,
Nope, that didn't work.
Device for measuring blood pressure?
Yeah, do you want to...
No.
Let's get past that because we've already heard that dialogue. Let's try this on him again.
Hi, it's me again. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job.
Right, so he won't let us take his blood pressure, and yet every time we try to walk past him, he insists we take his blood pressure. Can we club him with this?
Do you know what this tool is used for?
I'd rather not, Doctor. Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
See you later. Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
And there's no additional options down here.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
And yet, if we try to get past, he's going to kick off again, isn't he?
You haven't finished taking...
You won't let us take your blood pressure, you muppet.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
Sure, we can't hit him with this thing.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Will you keep quiet? You're just...
Are you sure we can't electrocute him?
Hi, it's me again. I thought about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy.
At this rate, I think we could.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No. I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
The trainee doctor. All right, let's head back to the lobby. Past Mr. Shiny. Oh, must be the wrong door again. I thought I clicked on the lower one there. Alright, where is he?
Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
What do you know about this piece of equipment?
It's a device for measuring blood pressure.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
What do you know about this piece of equipment?
It's a device for measuring...
See you later.
Right.
Let's speak to this fellow then.
Excuse me, sir.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful. Bernie, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix Hagenmeyer.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical wall of fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it as a privilege, no, an honor, to look after your nephew, sir.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Okay, I think we finally got him with us there, and we had a flip it clip there that popped up. And now, are you sure Chrissy wants to get with the nurse? I thought it was the girls at the bakery that he was after.
So long, Hagenmeyer.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What's his problem?
He's delirious. He just now came out of theater. He's recovering from major surgery.
I'll have him up and about before you can say, Lazarus, get out of your bed and walk. Hi, it's me again.
Oh, is he flirting down with the chippy as well?
I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. See you later.
Anything for food, Chrissy. Yep, we're fish and chips, we're Yorkshire puddings, we're cups of tea.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Oh, this bloke here, I'm going to stick that blood pressure thing and then I'm going to inflate it.
Will you keep... Hey, Benoit.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Insert it into the patient and bed free.
What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Are you ready with that pressure gauge?
Primed and ready to pump, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
And we're going to run.
I'm Dr. Stobbart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
What was that about cheese? Yeah. You got to cheese the girls. Thinking about food, and we see like American food, you know, food from the colonies. I know we were only talking about it the other week, weren't we? But you know, the man versus food. You know, because I used to love watching that, and so I would love to try so many of the things on it, but the quantities are ridiculous. I mean, the things that they have, like for like one single thing, you know, would do us for a week. It's just greed.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How was the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Don't you think it's possible that the bear was a man in disguise?
Well, obviously, I'm not completely stupid. But who would go to the bother of disguising himself as a bear? It's not as if he'd blend in with the surroundings. I checked with base to see if any bears had been reported missing from the zoo or a traveling circus. They told me to sit tight until reinforcements arrive. I guess they're right. I'd be stupid to tackle a bear single-handed.
Catch you later, officer.
Au revoir, Doc. If you see that bear, kick him in the nuts. Rather you than me, pal.
Okay, let's go in and see this fella.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lochmar gem?
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
Oh, I thought you were one of the assassin.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grand Master quickly. Tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
What, you have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them?
We've met. What about the Hashashin?
Is more likely to have followed Klausner. He'll stop and nothing to prevent the reforging of the sword.
And that's bad, is it?
As for Gloucester, he has gone off to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
He has a theory about the location of the...
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If Herr Hagenmeyer was to hear that...
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
There you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Stand back, monsieur.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
All right, I didn't want to talk over any of the dialogue there, but I have to come in on this conversation here. You were saying about the Americans don't actually know what cheese is. It's not proper cheese like what we have in the rest of the world. It's like a chemical byproduct, I think, that they eat, isn't it? And yeah, I remember that on the Man vs. Food, they have like this white gravy thing. Not proper. I don't know. We're gonna have to start posting stuff over, like special parcels for tiramisu with some like real cheese to try. Send something like Wensleydale and Cranberry over to Wolf as well. That's my favourite. Evening, JD. Welcome in. We're talking about food. What sort of trouble have you been up to today there, JD? All hail, JD, the squeaky bottle king and ruler of the fishy cold place. I still love that whenever it comes up.
Have you ever heard of the Hashi-Ashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again.
Thinking about food and care packages, JD, how many of your frazzles have you got left? Or have you gotten through all of them?
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Can you think of any use for this?
That's a thing for measuring blood pressure, isn't it? What are you doing with that?
I picked it up in the hospital. It could be useful.
You ought to take it back. Don't you feel guilty?
No. Let's take another look at the manuscript.
No.
That's the gem that Pegram found in Loch Marne. That's the tripod in the Croon Museum. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces.
Oh, you've eaten them all. What's your egg count up to, JD?
The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened. There's a guy working on a loom. There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
It just goes from one extreme to another, royalty. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got some the other week, you know. And guess what we forgot to get from the shop? We forgot the cream. Hang on, what have we got there anyway? We have 53k in the Ada eggs and 54k. It is keeping that kind of like roughly level as we go there. Royalty for 36 with 20 in the Adas. Oh, almost on the 100 hour mark. And Tiramisu has 6.5k of the Ada eggs. How many of the regular eggs? Oh, it's best not to get into those arguments, Royalty. There is no right answer. Oh, 2 seconds. Let's. Which one did we have? Was it a heist or was it a? Oh, it was a Stargate. Okay, can we defeat the Goa'uld? And what we got there from oh, sorry, I missed the line there with the Stargate. We have well just shy of 40k for Tiramisu. In the Ada eggs for Chrissy, 13k. And we'll just hold for that for a moment. And what was I saying there? 248 k for the for the regular eggs. You have to get them all spent, Chrissy. You have to redeem a dozen poems a night. What have we got here? Oh, our team emerges from the Stargate. Who are we fighting? Cronus. Close the iris. You complete your mission and brought SG-1 home. Special commendations for myself and Chrissy. We each get 100 bonus Ada eggs. I like that ship though. That was in the clip there, JD. It's not quite, but it just reminds me a little bit of the Razor Quest. Claire, you know what I mean? If I can get my words out. Oh yeah. We were talking about the puzzles last night, weren't we? Oh, mission for everyone. Don't forget, everybody, to hop onto Discord if you haven't already, and in the poll section, you have to vote for your choice for the next puzzle night. So you've got all the bits and bobs there, the instructions are up there, and the little doodads on the bottom there. Cast your vote for the next puzzle night. I really enjoyed doing that last one. And if you haven't already seen the 7 minute, 7 hours into 7 minutes worth of footage, don't forget to jump over and leave some fun comments. Okay, let's...
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one, Rosso or Sergeant Moo? Oh, but you're referring to Andre.
Andre.
I'll let you work it out.
Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to pop down here. Save for next week. Apparently I'm saving it each time. It's all I can try to figure for that. But okay, yeah, we are going to leave it there for tonight. It's kind of a mixed night for progress. We had 45 minutes where we made no progress at all, and then we then we started doing a bit better there. But we are going to hop over and see who is... If I can just close this down for a second. It's down to there. Press down to there. And who have we got online that we can go and harass? So let's hop over and see... Come on, I'll hurry up and load. So, would you like to go to tonight? Easy Guy playing Family Sim. CGD also playing Family Sim. Mabadoo is also playing Family Sim. Which one? Who would you like to go and say hello to for a few minutes? Where's Discord gone? Okay, so coming up tomorrow. We are back on Call of the Wild, where I am going to attempt to complete all the Italy missions. Spain missions in one sitting. That's the plan anyway. Friday night, change of plan, and we are doing the Fallout 3, where we left it on a cliffhanger. On Saturday night, we have a long play stream where we are going to attempt to do the entire game of another site in one sitting. It's supposed to be completed in about four and a bit hours in theory, but if we include like my rambling, maybe it'll take 5 hours. And then Sunday night is The Good Life. However, there may be no stream on Sunday. I'll decide on Sunday. It just depends on. I've got to dismantle the desk for a decorator coming in, so I've got to shift my computer and all that because he wants to be... Okay, what have we got on here then? Okay. Let's click on this one here. So, thank you for watching, everybody. We will return with Broken Sword next week, where we'll be diving straight in to go and see Andre. Thank you for watching, have a good night, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying our journey and would like to see more, then please rate, comment, favourite and subscribe in whichever manner your chosen platform allows. If you are joining us on Twitch, Mixer or YouTube, where we have loads more for you to watch, from our live streams to all our episodes across our various series. You can also drop by and say hi over on Discord, where we chat about everything from Minecraft to books and movies to tabletop games. But most importantly, thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day.